All right, everybody. Let me just give it like a minute or two before we truly get started. Just to let people trickle in or whatnot. So I'm super excited to kind of show you guys what we've developed, as I think it's going to be pretty impressive and help you guys get more exposure. So we'll get started just in like another minute or so. This is recorded, so I'll be able to share it with some other folks. Cool, 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 cool. So you guys are able to ask any questions um, that may come up. So just go ahead and pop your questions in here. And with this new feature, they come across the screen. So I'll just try to address them, and we're going to have like a pretty casual conversation. I'm going to explain the platform, explain the features, um, and then how the account executive fits into this whole like ecosystem, if you will. I'll try to look at the camera instead of looking off at my screen or whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to explain how the account executive fits in. Now, there may be some people. I did post this out everywhere. Some people may just be interested, loan officers or whatnot, that are interested in like how's the system work from the AE's perspective. So there might be some other folks that joined. You're welcome. You're welcome to stay and kind of figure out how the account executive or see how the account executive is going to operate in our system. Okay, so okay, we'll have to fix that, Michael. You should be registered as an account executive, and it should say account executive in the upper right hand corner. So we'll take a look at that. But let's get started. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, you guys, okay, so you guys went in and tried to register yourself. If you go to the website and try to register yourself, the only option for self-registration is for loan officers in this platform. For everybody else, account executives, contract processors, and real estate agents, the other three profiles, we have to create the account for you. So you would have been able to all of the account executives at this point were given we made an account and you have an email. So you want to go check your email and look for broker AIQ, right? They are a lot of them were not going to the spam. They were going to people's regular inboxes. So check broker AIQ. You might think it's spam because you haven't seen it before, but and possibly if you don't see it in your inbox, check the spam, of course. But just search for broker AIQ, and that will allow you to make your account. Okay. All right. So again, you cannot register on the site and register as a account executive. Only a loan officer. And if you did that, we're just going to end up like deleting out that loan officer account that you created because you should have an account executive, and all of you have one already, as we made them and sent them to your email address. Okay, so let's get started. First, I just want to talk about the ecosystem and what it is that we built here, and then kind of go into where you fit in this overall process, and then what I need you to do as well as part of this process in order to effectively work with client direct mortgage as loan officers. Okay, so first, let's just talk about the broker AIQ really quickly. I decided I wanted to build a platform where we brought in all of the stakeholders to one place to be able to help support the loan officers and help them grow, right? So the whole idea here is support and growth to be able to have a more seamless process and do more loans at the end of the day. That's what the baseline of this system is about. Okay. And then I went through each role and all the people that participate in a process, and I decided to bring them into this threshold and give them a function to make this whole thing work better. So there's real estate agents, contract processors, account executives, and loan officers that sit in this platform. All right. So you as the account executive, let's just go in and take a look at what it looks like from your perspective. So if you created, oh, I'm sorry. This is just the regular, this is my admin dashboard, okay? So I do want to show you a couple things before we get into your piece, okay? So the system has a bunch of different value propositions here, okay? But there's three things that I really want to point out where I think that we excel against all of the other companies out there and that are going to help us do a better job. One is the live support, okay? So loan officers at Client Direct Mortgage, even you will have this live support number up here, okay? So if you're having trouble navigating this system, if you're trying to find out where the loan officer list is, if there's anything that you need help with, you can always call this number and get support. The loan officers love this as well because I don't care if it's payroll, they have a problem with their credit link, like Advantage Credit or whatever we're using. CTI is what we use. They have a question about an appraisal that we're doing internal processing on, and their processor didn't get back in touch with them. Anything, call the support line. We have 13 people that are sitting there waiting to take phone calls. They make a ticket. They have a SLA, a service level agreement, to get back in touch with the individual within 15 minutes with the answer or with the path that we're going down to get them a solution. So far, we've kind of rolled this out as a pilot. The team is doing an excellent job. I'm absolutely loving how we funneled so many of the questions into this one place. Even scenario questions. Whatever you have as an LO, bring it to this area, and then we can support. Now, this other number is Rocket's number. A lot of you don't care about that, right? But they do have an SOS. And if you guys have a number where you can call in and get like any kind of support, please share it with me. Maybe I'll move this Rocket one off and just have a different area where there are these numbers where we can kind of get live support. But Rocket does have an underwriting support line called SOS where they can ask underwriting questions. So we just pop that up there too. It's really about access to information. So, and maybe this is for a suggestion too. If you guys don't have an underwriting number or SOS number sort of thing, maybe you guys can suggest that you do create something like that, because we do have a lot of LOs that end up calling that number. Okay, but the main one they're using is support. That's the one you'll use too. So that's one thing that we have. Live support is 9 hours a day. All right. Secondly, something I love and something that I really need. I knew I wouldn't get a good response on that one. Boo. I'm with you. But the second one we have, and I'll tell you something else later that is more advantageous to you guys and not advantageous to Rocket or whatnot. But remind me about that. But the second thing that we'll look at that I think is really big and I'm really excited about is the training calculator. Okay. So let's go into the training calculator. Training calendar calculator, the training calendar. So I'm super excited about this because of the fact that so many of my loan officers are asking about training. There's I don't care if it's onboarding all the way to different lenders having their products that they want to share. So really follow me here on this one, okay? Because this is where I really want to interact and participate with the account executives that are interested in doing this. Now, many of you have reached out to me and said, hey, Ramon, will you please resend my Zoom link so I can get your loan officers to attend my meetings? Many of you like to do meetings. You maybe have to do meetings, so many of them a month or whatnot. What I find is it's pretty difficult for my loan officers. Sometimes even the loan officers ping me and say, hey, I was doing a meeting with Rim and I can't find the Zoom link. I was like, I have no idea, right, where that is. So there's a problem with the emailing of meetings and trying to get this all in one place. What we've done is we've incorporated Zoom into our platform, into the calendar, and we're allowing you guys, and we're encouraging you to do meetings within our environment for loan officers. So I would like to have a meeting every single day of the month. We have 120 lenders here. There's only 22 business days in a month. So that's only 60 something days to be able to do a meeting in a quarter, right? Should there be 2 a day? I don't know, maybe a morning and an afternoon. At least 1 a day is what I'm thinking. So what I would like to do is engage with your community, my team will, the account executive community, my team will engage with them and find out which day you would like to do any type of training within our calendar. Why is this important? Because why is it important to do it in our calendar as opposed to yours? Because we have the sort of like pull marketing or the magnetic connection to our loan officers. Like they have to engage our system. The payroll is done in here. There's multiple things that are done in our system that are going to constantly draw our loan officers back to this portal. That's where you're going to get the most exposure for whatever it is that you're doing as far as your trainings or whatnot. Not only that, we have a built-in sort of like marketing mechanism as well. So every Sunday it's going to go out and we're going to give them the menu of what trainings are coming this upcoming week. So I hope that makes sense, even daily. So they don't need to go find a Zoom link. All they have to do is go into their portal. Some of you have already been able to log in, so you know there's not even a password with our portal. There's just OTP. There's a code. So all you really need to know is your email. So get on the freaking BrokerAIQ.com, log in, put your email in, boom, you're right there. So no more chasing down Zoom links or trying to figure out, when and where something. When or where is that meeting? You can see it. I'm hoping to fill this up for the whole month, so we can kind of see the whole month, and then you guys can give me ideas. If there's some of you that feel like you specialize in DSCR or you just really want to focus on that, maybe I'll do a DSCR week, and we can have 5 lenders, 5 of you that feel as though you have a strong DSCR products, and each day you can kind of go through the DSCR, right? Maybe there's HELOC. I know there's new products out there for HELOCs. Maybe we'll have a HELOC week or a HELOC day or something like that, right? So it doesn't have to be a whole week. It could be a 3-day span. But help me get creative. I'm a very creative person when it comes to mortgage business, right? That's how I always was a top. A lot of you guys know my history. I was a top originator. That's what all those Scotsman guy, trope, all that stuff. It's just because I'm always thinking about ways to creatively aggregate business and grow business, right? So now it's kind of shifted away from consumers, and now my client is the loan officer. So I'm like, all right, so since my client is the loan officer, who are my partners in this? Who are the people that I'm linked at the arm to try to make it so we can get some deals out of these loan officers and help them to do more deals? It's you. That was like the account executive. The account executive is my, we're in the battle together. That's my teammate. So I'm trying to put together stuff to help my teammate empower my loan officers, right? And educate them, because the biggest problem is the education on these guys, right? They have deals and don't even know they have deals in many cases, okay? So we can have a 3-day sprint off of home equity products, because you guys got a couple cool home equity products. Let's do it. And then I can market that as fun. Like in 2 weeks, guys, we're doing a 3-day sprint on home equity products. Everything you want to know about, you'll be a home equity specialist after attending for these 3 days. Not only that, we're giving a $500 gift card for anybody that attends all 3 meetings, because I also have accounting of every loan officer that comes to these meetings, right? One thing about my systems are I'm going to know what everybody is doing in my systems, and then be able to help train those people. Like, I have an opportunity for cheap HELOC leads. Well, I want to only give HELOC leads to the people that went through the HELOC training sprint that we put together. I don't want to give them out to just anybody that raises their hand and say, "Oh, I'll do it." Yeah, right. You don't even know 4 products out there underneath that HELOC umbrella, right? So there's a method to the madness as well, right? I have like a long strategy sort of string here, right? So that's that part. Okay, so Jennifer, really quick, does your platform allow for LO to host a group of real estate agents and sponsored lenders? So we didn't want the calendar to go crazy, so we control all of the meetings from an admin perspective. So anybody can host a meeting, but we're going to be the ones that kind of administer it. But I'm going to get into the real estate agents and stuff in a minute, right? So we'll talk about that more. Now, there's not just AEs that are going to, this is a good segue, Jennifer, so now I'm going to go into this. It's not just AEs that are going to be able to hold meetings here. We have our regular onboarding every week. For new loan officers, every Monday there'll be our regular onboarding. If it doesn't work well for them, they don't know everything, come back the next week, right? So Everything will be in here. Then there's other, like we have lender price. So we'll do lender price tutorial on how to price. We have contract processors in here. And the contract processors have asked me, because of my UWM versus Rocket group. You guys know that group. There's 7,500 people in there. A lot of them are contract processors. So they'll DM me and say, hey, Ramon, can you post me up? Can you do whatever so I can try to get business? So I had so many inquiries there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make them part of my system as well. And contract processors, in an effort to be able to get business, can hold classes too. So only on weekends. So Saturday and Sunday, they can hold classes to sort of like train new loan officers how to structure a file. What that is going to do is build a bond between them. So then, hopefully in the future, that loan officer will get a deal. And of course, they're going to use the contract processor that help train them on how to do X, Y, and Z. So there's a real opportunity here for the ecosystem to sort of like cross over and for people to like help one another grow. Now, somebody asked me about, Jennifer asked me about realtors. Realtors are one of my major focus of this platform from a client acquisition or lead aggregation perspective. Next week, after you guys are all in this system and I have everything set up, next week, I'm going to reach out. I have 28,000 realtors. We're going to invite all of them to this platform. They are going to be able to use, to some extent, the AI Genie. So in other words, they can ask a question about a certain deal type and get information back. The way I'm framing this is, hey, realtors, sometimes your loan officer is not available for a question when you're out talking to a client. We'll log into our AI Genie, ask it a question, and it'll give you an answer back. So we're going to pull realtors into this platform. It's free for them, so they can come in, use some of the features we have, and I'm going to start hosting classes where the realtors might be able to get certain type of leads, right? So we're going to do the realtor AI product training, right? So they know how to use the AI Genie. And then we're also going to do a lead thing to kind of draw them in. So there will be realtors in this platform asking questions about real deals, which I'm going to be able to disseminate to our loan officer community. I'm going to be able to make those relationships happen. So that's the plan. All right. So this is the calendar in a sense. So what I'm hoping that you guys will do is like come in, get a slot, say, Ramon, hey, I want to do events. I want to do this many events a month. Please, I want to do this dates, and this is the subject I want to do. So just let me know what you want to do, and we're gonna get this sucker filled up. Okay. So now let's kind of back out of this because that was number 2. And then number 3, which I think is the strongest piece of the system, is actually the AI Genie. So this is where it comes in and, you're asking questions, right? So it's like, I need a FHA manual underwrite, with a, 580 FICO, and let's just do that. All right, fine. So we know it's a low FICO anyway. All right, so they put in whatever scenario, because we know it's low FICO because it's manual. They put in whatever scenario, they come in here, okay, and then they pick the category, okay? So we're going to do FHA, okay? And then you go there, you select, and then you just hit send. So what's happening here is our AI Genie is not, everybody's used Chat GPT. They understand how that all works. This is not necessarily the same thing. We are using like the same engine, if you will, okay? We're using the same engine. Ours is actually Google Gemini. So the brain is the same, but behind that brain is our own database. It's called Vector Database. So what we've done is essentially take guidelines, your guys' guidelines, slice them and dice them and put labels all over them, right? Now, we haven't done it with all of you yet. We've only done it with a couple from a testing perspective. What I need from you guys is to be able to upload the guidelines so that way you guys will do an initial label, but then we can go back in and label them and different things will pop up. So you see that Freedom's there, EPM is there. There's a couple of lenders that are popping up in here, right? Now, keep in mind, there's not everybody's not in here yet, right? So the more people that interact with the system, it will kind of prioritize those particular lenders, right? So if you're doing trainings and things like that, then you're more likely to pop up for a particular scenario, if you will, right? So CMG is here, Freedom is here, Capital, EPM, and again, these lenders that you're seeing are only because we've loaded like 5 or 6 lenders. That's it. Okay, so this is cool. It gives them the information, but what's even cooler is you click on this, and then let's go and look at Freedom, for example. Okay, so I go to Freedom, and it takes me to the exact page where it got the information for the guideline. So this is page 3 of their guidelines. So it's important to get the surface information, okay? But then it's even more important to go exactly in the guideline and make sure what you were looking for is truly covered within that lender's profile. Now, it's almost impossible to go out. I've seen these loan officers. They're not going to open up guidelines. They're not going to scroll through them. They're not going to do all these other things that they need to do in order to make it work. Okay. They're only going to do a surface look, and they're not going to get the answer. Even the contract processors are loving this. They're coming in, they're looking at it, and they're getting good information as well. So everybody will be able to access these guidelines and get the information they need at their fingertips, no matter what the scenario. I don't care if it's HELOC, non-QM. I'm going to show you in a second how all this works. So that's a little tidbit. Like if you do somebody else, go over to CMG. Okay, go over to CMG, and then what? Look, page 35 of 136. So it's showing you manual downgrades, manual underwriting. It's taking you right to where this stuff is. And yes, you will be able to see, you guys as account executives, you're going to be able to ask the product genie, like, give me the account executive for CMG, or give me the account executive for Freedom, if you will, right? And then it's going to give you their contact information, okay? So that loan officer has a role where all the account executives are in here, okay? There you guys go. So they go and then they find whatever, and then they can send you a message right in the platform, okay? That's what they're going to be able to do, right? So it's like this is extremely interactive. These guys are going to go out, they're going to ask their questions, they're going to get information, then they're going to come and seek you out to talk about it further, and they're going to have that information, that guideline in front of them. Now, if the guidelines are updated, that's the biggest question that everybody's been asking me. Well, yeah, but what if an update happens? Well, you're in control of that. So let's go over here. Now I want to switch. All right, just give me a second really quick. Oh, actually, I don't need to switch. Let me just bring yeah, I need to switch. Different browsers. Give me a second. I'm going to share a different screen. And just no good way to do this outside of stop sharing and share. So window, and then let's go to this one now. Okay, this is yours. So you notice in the upper right hand corner it says like account executive. So you'll want to go in here, like go to your profile, update the profile, your years of experience, your company should be right in there, your description, and then you'll edit whatever, and then you'll update it. Okay. So you'll want to go do that. You'll definitely want to when you edit, you can also put in your picture. So please drop a picture in there. My team's gonna stress you out about putting a picture in if you don't have one, because I don't know, I'm like a real symmetric person. Like I had to see everything like in a certain order. And when I don't see it like in that order, like I want to see like people's faces and not just some people just like with a letter, and then other people with five letters and then one face looks weird to me. Okay, so this is an account executive's back end. All right, you as the account executive are going to be able to come in here and check this out. This is where it's going to get cool. You have your own section for guideline and matrices. So it'll be empty right now. So you'll create your lender name. All right, that'll be your company name. Okay, and then you'll put all of the documents in here. So you'll open it up and then you'll upload a document. So let's upload. So let me just grab one really quick. Okay, you guys can't see this, but I'm just grabbing something. And then let's just put like guideline. Okay. All right. So I just uploaded something from Button Financial, HELOC. So now you have to label it. So you're just gonna put HELOC, and then I'm gonna call it home equity. All right. And then I'm good. And then I'm gonna hit import. Okay. And then upload it. So it's that simple. So you'll just upload your guidelines based on the products. You have non-QM here, one-time construction, renovation, and we've laid all this stuff out and made it pretty simple. Now, if you're having trouble, the important thing is to get your guidelines in here and to keep them updated. Okay. Um, if you're having trouble doing it, then by all means send it to us. Let us help. Let us help you out. There are a lot of you, so anybody that can go in and do it themselves, that's the best. And you're going to pop up quicker when the LOs start to ask questions. All I get all day long are scenario questions. It's crazy how many, you guys know this already. You guys get hit up with them. We're going to stop or put a buffer between you guys, and we're going to start handling and educating the loan officer around a lot of those scenario questions from the outset. Then, when you have a more baked through um, um, deal or opportunity for a deal, is when client direct loan officers will engage you, but they'll engage you with a lot more knowledge. They'll engage you having looked at guidelines already. These are the things that I'm going to be teaching them, right? It's going to be part of our onboarding. Okay. So even part of our onboarding, we're going to teach them how to use these tools and get information before they even engage you guys for certain things, right? So I think what we're going to find is a much better experience from client direct loan officers because of the amount of accessible information to them. Okay, so let's okay, so that's how that piece works. So all you need to simply do, let me just go back one time. Let's go back here. Okay, and go back to the dashboard, and then boom, right? Just guidelines, and then you'll be able to click it. Nothing's there now, but create your lender. And the reason we don't have you already set up as a lender is because sometimes you guys change companies and you go to different lenders. So there might be a time where we go in and remove a particular lender and you might add a different lender. Or maybe you're AE for two lenders. I don't think I've seen that, but maybe there's somebody out there like that. Okay, so you'll go in here once you create your lender name, and then you'll simply upload a document. Okay. And then you'll choose from the categories. And all the categories are here, right? Absolutely all of them. Try to be precise. We're going to go back and look, but some of you have very granular guidelines, and some of you just have more general. You only have like 5 PDFs, right? But the better you are at labeling, the better the system's going to be at recognizing and giving back a good answer. Okay. That's extremely, extremely, extremely important. Um, let's see. Yes, yes. Good question, Patrick. Product flyers. You can absolutely paste product flyers in. Okay. So put those in there and you'll find, let me just show an example of another one. Let's see. I don't have the AI Genie turned on right now in here, but after you guys start to upload, I didn't want to give it to you yet until all of until a considerable amount of lenders had uploaded. I wanted like at least 70% plus of lenders to have uploaded before I give you guys access to it. So once you guys load everything and have access, then you'll be able to come in here and play around with it. But definitely put in the flyers because it's going to. I'm going to show you something in a second. I'm going to show you how the system will bring up a flyer. But let me just finish going through the items here. Yeah, if you have separate DSCR, just put whatever. The system is smart enough. You don't necessarily have to fragment it that granular. You could just put it under DSCR, and the AI model is smart enough, depending on the question that's asked, to choose the right program. Right? It's reading all of your stuff. As soon as you guys upload, it's studying. Just think of it. It's like, it's my smartest friend. It really is my buddy, my best friend, right? Talks to me nice all the time, right? It gives me all the information I want back. It's absolutely wonderful. But this is my new friend, right? And it's a expert, um, doctorate at understanding programs, right? So it'll go through and it'll understand everything you got. So the labels that we have are sufficient. Just make sure you get it under the right one. Okay. And from the perspective of like loan officers, I want to kind of give you this like all inclusive look at it as well and show you the value that we're really bringing to the loan officers. But you guys know, you might not know, I'll show you before the end. What am I at? 10:30. Okay. I'll show you before the end kind of what we're doing, because I'm having some absolutely marvelous conversations over the last 9 days. We released all this about 9, 10 days ago. Okay. It was twofold. It was the BrokerAIQ platform on one side, our whole support, and then it was my new comp plan, which is $495 a file, no holdbacks. Some of you on this call already know because we talked about it, right? Patrick, you know that we went with no holdbacks. We're removing all of the holdbacks out of the correspondent. So if I haven't talked to you about taking the holdbacks out, and you guys have holdbacks for me, please let's have a conversation. Get those holdbacks out of there, because that's part of our commitment and transparency in our non-Dale. We're one of the only lenders out here doing it. $495 a file, all these broker relationships, no holdbacks on the correspondent, right? So I'm getting a lot of good conversations from real, like, producing LOs. That's the thing that's crazy. I'm talking to guys that are doing 3 to 5 deals per month, right? Before, when we had our program, the 1250 cap out, I was talking to a lot of LOs, but it was like, I've done 0 loans in the last, 9 months, right? Totally different now. So I'm absolutely loving the last 9 days, and I think it's just going to get better. So one thing that they love the comp model, but they're looking at all the support too, because some of these guys have teams, and they're like, wait a minute, if you have that 1-800 number, I don't have to answer questions about credit links and payroll and how to do this, how to do that. I was like, no, send them all here. So we're taking a lot of the mundane labor off of the people that are leaders, the originators that are leaders in this business and really want to grow. Either they want to grow their team or they want to grow their production more. And we're creating a platform where we can help them with that exponential growth, if you will, right? So we're helping to get a little bit more sunshine on their garden so it can truly grow, get those shrubs out of the way, is what the mindset is. So that segues into other things that we're doing. I'm just going to go through this really quickly. Like these are things I deem important, are things that I get a lot of phone calls on. We notice we get a ticket with it all the time. You guys, there's a lot of lenders here. The LOs always asking for passwords. Can I get a password reset? I need to make an account. I need to do this. I don't have one for this. I don't have one for that. You guys know the feeling. I'm sure you do, right? So we put a password vault. This is a real password vault in here. So now they can create all of you. Every single one of the lenders, we're going to teach them this in onboarding, right? If you work with that lender, they need to be in our password vault. So they'll all create passwords for you. You guys tell them, right? When they ask you for a password and you're a client direct, hey, make sure you put this in your password vault, right? So I want to see 120 entries in here of all the lenders that we're working with. So that way there is no discrepancy, and then are wondering how to get in or how to submit something or how to do pricing. Our team will also drive those individuals to try to keep their passwords and their accounts healthy and alive, right? That's one thing I'm telling my support team. Keep our loan officers' accounts within our lenders healthy and alive, okay? So some of our support people might be reaching out to you on behalf of the loan officers, because the loan officers are sometimes busy or lazy. Yep. If any loan officers on here, yeah, I said it. So too busy to ask for their passwords themselves. So I'm sure they'll ask our support team to do this. So if our support team does it, we're going to make sure that they're on that password. Okay. Coaching programs. We have all kinds of people in here for coaching. Neil Dingra, Amir Saeed, all this kind of stuff. We're trying to help people do and get better. They ask me about all that stuff. We have this big vendor platform. So we have all kinds of different, graphic design, compliance, all this sort of thing. We're filling this out still. So if it looks kind of like it's not that much in certain sections, that's why. So let's see. I know this one has a lot. Okay, so yeah, so there's all these different things that we're doing. I don't care who it is, they can get in here, vetted VA, all those sort of things. Okay, so let's move on. Recruitment. If you guys have loan officers that are interested in possibly coming to client direct mortgage, you can refer them over. Okay, that's cool. contract processors. Let's talk about this for a second. My goal in a very short term is to be the best mega broker in the space, right? Some of you saw me, if you follow me on social media, you saw that I did the versus this past weekend. Every weekend I'm going to do a versus, right? Sometimes it's going to be other brokers, sometimes it's going to be retailers. But Ramon is in competitive mode. I'm competing with every other broker out there to bring the best model and the best service and the highest probability for growth to every single loan officer in the country, that across our 35 approved states is my mentality. That means we will compete. So this weekend we were competing with Edge, showing a top loan officer at Edge how they would make $220,000 more dollars at our company because of the 1099 structure versus the W-2. Plus we have a lower per deal model as well. So we break all that stuff down, and we will continue to look at companies and show individual loan officers that have a chance to make a lot more money at Client Direct Mortgage. But my goal is to get to 1,000 units really quickly. Just like I got to a top originator, took me 3 years to do. 3 years from not knowing what a 1003 and a GFE was, within 3 years, I was doing $60 million a year, right? A lot of it was lead based, and I did have a tech background, but I just share that with you so you guys can understand my mentality, my big audacious goal mentality. I built my tools now. I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling confident. I have what I need in order to accomplish my goal. My goal is 1,000 units per month. Okay. There's companies that already do that. Edge exceeds it. Barrett exceeds it. Nexa exceeds it. eMortgage Capital is close to it. They do about 8,000, I think. C2 Financial does about 6,500. Expert does about 6,500. I know all of my competitors. I know how they have you guys listed. I know who's using a Google Doc sheet to have all of your information there instead of having an actual system and platform. I've studied everyone immensely to create what I feel is a better product and bring it to market. One big part of what I will need to do in order to be successful is have the labor staff behind 1,000 units. We will not be the ones. We have internal processing done with our Salesforce and all that good stuff, and it is pretty amazing. But we cannot sustain from a labor perspective doing 1,000 loans a month. Okay, not going to happen. So we're bringing in the contract processors. Okay, we will have the best platform, and we will put every penny that is obtained back into the contract processors' pockets. Unlike some other companies, like if you're looking at Nexa, they own that company. $500 of the $1,250 goes to the corporate. So only $700 goes to the processor. We're encouraging anybody that works with us to give as much money back to the contract processor as possible. We want to be the best partner for our contract processing community out there. So we're also talking to the companies like I just talked to Tyler Hancock, you see, and this weekend we put every single one of his processors into our platform. Okay, so that's what you're seeing here. So we'll continue to add. My goal is to have 400 to 500 contract processors available in here. Oh, look, some of them they just got this, but some of them are starting to fill in their profiles. So really, that's what I mean about the pictures. I want everybody to have a picture. But mind you, they just got access Monday. So they're starting to fill this stuff in. Okay, so we will have this strong staff of labor behind these 1,000 units that I'm trying to do. In addition, the contract processor can use the AI Genie to kind of understand your guidelines. So because sometimes when I was interviewing the contract processors, and we talked about, you talk about the worst thing, the easy ones, the VA Earl, there's no reason to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about why you don't want to work with a loan officer. What happens? Well, they give me this hairy deal and they want to do this and blah, 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 and they don't know what the hell they're doing. I got to figure it out. And I'm not sure which lender to take it to and all this other stuff. Well, we're going to help guide that stuff. When a deal comes in with a loan officer that doesn't have the highest level of subject matter knowledge, doesn't quite understand file structuring, we still want to be able to work with that contract processor, let them get into your guidelines, let them call our support desk and say, hey, I have this deal. Loan officer doesn't really know exactly what they're doing at Client Direct, but this particular loan officer that came over, they need a little bit of help. Who can we talk to? Let's try to structure this thing and see if we really have a deal here. And then we can kind of do that work collectively as a beehive. Okay. I have a real beehive mentality with this system. As a beehive, we can kind of do the work and figure out if the contract processor time that they're going to invest is going to be useful and they're really going to get paid out of it. I respect the fact that they're 100% commission. And just like from a loan officer perspective, we don't want to spend a lot of time with somebody that we know not going to be a deal. They don't want to either, right? So our system is going to allow them to have a better process or front end entry for a lot of these loans that are like more challenging or whatnot. Okay, so right now we have 87 in there, but we will have 300 to 400 contract processors in here across all the companies and independent. So if you know contract processors that are interested in being part of our platform, please let me know. They could be organized by state. It's really granular. So and then all of these people will start to get a ranking as well. So as you're starting to do deals with us, this part comes over. It kind of talks about who they are, if you will. And then what will happen is when they close loans, and this is connected to our payroll. So this is not done with Reader or any data source outside of Client Direct Mortgage. When a payroll goes through and it's with a particular contract processor, that loan officer is going to be attached to that contract processor's profile to say that they previously worked together. And that loan officer also is going to be able to give a review to that contract processor. So there'll be these interactions and stuff too, right? As they go through and they're able to do their thing. Okay. So that's contract process. I wanted to stay on that a little bit because if you guys have people that you could refer over, I think would be a great place for them to try to get business. Okay. So now one other thing I want to show you in here. Okay, so one other thing I want to show you in here is the communities. So this is almost like Facebook groups. So that's what this literally is. So somebody can come in, like this guy has already kind of poked around, and he put like, really, this is the first comment in the whole system, right? Outside of testing. So he came in and put this, and then anybody can come and will leave a comment underneath it. It is literally Facebook groups right here. So a realtor may come in here and say, hey, I have this issue with I have this client, blah, 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 blah. And then there's going to be a bunch of loan officers that attack and try to respond. We are going to have some house rules. Like we'll only be like loan officers, maybe local to that area. I don't know exactly what they're going to be, but I'm going to put some house rules so we don't have 52 client direct loan officers jumping on one realtor when they put a scenario in. We got to make it healthy, right? So, but you might put something in as an account executive because you're curious. Maybe you want some feedback from loan officers. There's all types of dynamics that can happen within our environment. So we have the Facebook, and then we have something called like the chat is like Slack. So you can go and make an individual message with anybody, a realtor, a loan officer. If you guys want to, on the platform, if you want to talk, you can talk within Slack. If you want to talk about one particular issue, instead of going back and forth on emails, come in here, make a Slack channel, right? Invite them, right? You just make a quick Slack channel, you invite them, and then you guys talk about the particular subject right here. And that's only going to exist in your two environments. I can also make chat rooms. So if you as a account executive want your own room, like if you want like PRMG or Freedom Mortgage room, I can come in here, make the room. We control the rooms. We have to make them on the back end. Next Bank. If you guys want a room, you can make a room, and then whenever you're doing something exciting, whenever you're doing this, whenever that, you can post it in there. You guys can have conversations. You can invite loan officers to your room. You can invite contract processors, realtor. You get the idea. Okay, cool. So there is that communication piece in here too. Let me kind of back out of this one. I'm going to stop the share and go back to my and we're almost done. Then I can answer questions. Go back to my dashboard. I'm sorry. Go back to my admin account. Share screen. Share screen. So what I need you guys to do for me that did not get an account, you can't find your email, okay? If that's your situation, I need you to take down this number really quick. because you're not in the system yet. But I'm going to tell the support team to help you out. Okay. So let me just copy this and put it in chat. Post a comment. Okay. All right, so that's the support line, the 888-706-7003. Just tell them, hey, I was in the 10 o'clock meeting with Ramon. I did not get a user account. I'm an account executive. Will you please send me a user account? And you may have to just go ahead and give them, they can do it with you right there on the phone. They'll search to see if they already made one for you. And if not, they'll make you a new one. And if they did, all you have to do is go and put in your email address. And that might be something you can test right now. Actually, you may not even have to call. You might be able to just go to BrokerAIQ. Yeah, I didn't even think about this because there's no passwords. That's the beautiful thing about our system. Go to BrokerAIQ, put in your email address that we would have, okay? Your work, I'll call it your work email address, and then hit log in. And then it should email you your code to be able to get in. So if you have an account, the system recognizes that email and will send you that password. That is not a temporary code either. That's called OTP. That's what that's the way our passwords work. It's always a random code. All right. So cool. So now let's go and try to get this thing sort of wrapped up for you guys, so I can answer some questions and let you get on with your day. I really appreciate you guys sticking in here with me. Let's see. I talked about the loan officers. I talked about this. You guys won't do anything in back office, I don't think. No, I think I've done a pretty good job covering everything. So, I mean, there is, just so you guys know, I don't know how many of you guys have pricing in lender price, but we also have the PPE in here. Everybody will have a lender price account. Okay. So they can come in here and sort of log into lender price. So just FYI, so you guys know that. I think I mentioned it. I did mention it earlier that we do a lending price training, right? So we'll come in here, we'll train. If you guys, if you're a part of this system, then they'll be able to see rates or whatnot. They do need to go in and activate your account. Everybody's individual lender price, we have to activate each lender. Okay. So that's why we have the weekly training though on lender price. So we can help them do that. So just so you know, they do have access to lender price. If you're in there as a company, that's where they can find you. Okay. So boom, there you go. You see Next Bank, Mega Capital, Resi Central, a lot of them. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the dashboard. You guys understand how the AI Genie works, training, the support. I will turn on the loan officer list. Okay. So you guys will be able to see all of our loan officers. That's the other thing. You guys always ask me about a list, right? Or send me the new updated list. This will be the latest and greatest list always in the system. Okay. Now, you can send them a message initially. They do have to, I think the loan officers have control to be able to accept you or whatnot, or to make a relationship with you. So that is something that they'll have to go in and do. I have not invited all of the client direct loan officers to the platform yet. I first am putting in the contract processors and you as the account executive. Naturally, I don't want to give them access to the system, and your guys' guidelines are not even uploaded yet, right? So we want to build everything out, make it nice and fluffy and pretty, and then let all of them in. But as you come in here, you'll be able to see all of them. What's coming down the pipe that you're going to love is company leaderboard. So you'll be able to see within our company from our payroll who's closing loans, right? What type of loans are they closing? So all that information will be accessible to you. We don't have an export yet for you to be able to extract the loan officer's information out of there. I don't know. I think about that. Think about how we will do that. But as it exists now, they're just all in the system, and a lot of your engagement would be in the system. Right? Invite them all to your channel if you want to do new things, right? Things like that. I want to get away from the the emails, the email blast that all of you sent, that we all send out. I mean, it's like, it's not a good process, to be honest with you. Like it's overbearing. It's just too much. It's like we get like hundreds of emails every day. Every day I get like 600 emails, bro. And I don't know, 80% of them I'm not going to look through. I have somebody that just deletes everything out for me. So it's really hard and it's not effective. That's why we created this platform. So if you have true value and products where you can actually help a loan officer do more business, then by all means, let's talk about it. Let's get it in the system. By the way, your Zooms will be recorded and put underneath your profile as an AE. So all the work you do within our profile will be stored for other people to come and see. It's the loan officers that haven't come to Client Direct yet. They'll be able to go on your profile and see all the ones you did last month and the month before, all your products. So if you lay it out in a certain way or think about it somewhat strategically in the way that you do trainings within our platform, then you'll have all of that in there. So, yeah, that's the benefit, if you will. Okay, so let me just kind of like go through some of these questions. I think that's cool. I think I'm just gonna like wrap up from here. I think everybody understands like the system and what they need to do and what the benefit is. One of the strongest benefits of this, guys, is going to be me going out to the real. I'm going to draw a lot of realtors into this platform. I'm going to see all kinds of questions that I can see every single question asked in this platform, right? I can see every single engagement. So there's a lot of good accountability there on that end, but that it's not just about accountability. It's about me looking for opportunities. If I see a real estate agent searching for, I'm looking for a DSCR loan or no income, loan or asset loan, or whatever they're asking for. That's a realtor asking about it for a particular client. Then that's an opportunity. And we're going to send one of our loan officers to go out and try to get that deal and make that relationship, if you will. So yeah, I'm really big into pull marketing. Instead of going out branding myself, trying to put myself on every single billboard, things like that, to try to convince to be top in people's mind, I'd rather find a way to bring them into my environment. Is sort of what that whole idea is. And again, then we have some lead stuff that we're doing too. Okay, so let's just look at a couple questions. Someone that at least, okay, yeah. Thanks. Yep, Reese, yep, you agree 100%. If a lender has a time-sensitive pricing special, do you have an action? Yes. We have an announcement. So we have like notifications up here, right? So we'll be able to give them announcements. And it's something that we want to do. Like every day, I want to go in and just say, who's our most competitive VA lender today? Because people are in and out of the pricing, right? Some days you buy the street, if you will, right? So some people are being super competitive, like NextBank's being super competitive right now, right? You see that in the pricing. If you guys have something where you feel like you're rocking and rolling, of course we don't want to do. It has to be true, if you're in fifth place, I don't want to put the notification saying that this person has the best pricing today, right? We really want to look and see who's doing it. But if there's different programs, exciting things, absolutely, let's ping them with it, 100%. Okay, so then go down Reese and then thought here. Can the system email us a designated to LO leave or join Client Direct, possibly join or enable to deactivate? Yes, yeah, because we have that information. So yeah, we can do that. We have something called like subscription, right? Just so you know. So the LOs, they have to pay to use the system. We have a platform fee. So a couple of them are on already that are actually paying. So these are the guys that are actually paying for the system. So once you stop paying, we're gonna like ping you and say, hey, what's going on? Right? So you're either gonna continue to pay and be a part of our platform and be a part of our company, or maybe you just don't do loans and you don't want to like, you're just looking to hang your license. Well, if you're not paying the $149 a month, then you're not going to hang your license here. So you're out, right? So we want to go towards individuals that are really engaged in our system, paying for our system, and using what we consider the value proposition, so that way they can do deals. We're not opposed to taking any new loan officers either. If you guys know new loan officers that want an environment where it's going to be a community, an ecosystem, and where they can really get business. Because listen, if I see a loan officer, and I'm going to be looking at this, if I see a loan officer and there's 22 classes over the course of a month, and they went to like 17 classes, they don't do any deals, but I see them like I'm like, damn, they're spending a lot of time. I want to get the report. Then when those real estate agents are coming through and funneling and asking questions, hey, I have a deal and blah, blah, blah. I need this, or I need that. And I see it in my AI Genie. I'm going to go out and get that realtor and help them get their first deal, if you will. And we're going to be there to support them. So they're going to do a good job. So I'm not worried about them not having the experience, right? So that's the kind of stuff I want to be able to do. I want to be able to put deals in some of these realtors' hands that are willing to like help themselves. So being at zero does not mean that you can't be. I know I talked about, hey, I'm talking to producers, but we're also looking for loan officers that might not be doing anything but highly motivated. All right. Will a recording of this? Yeah. If you go back to the same link, you'll be able to access the recording. So the link stays alive to be it turns into a recording. Let's see here. Reese, there's no training sessions. What do you mean by the how do I request a training session? Oh, for us to be able to like show you how to do it, how to like upload stuff or whatnot. You just call the support hotline. If you're having trouble with anything in the system, just call the support hotline. They haven't experienced you guys yet, the account executives. So just be patient with them. They might just collect the information that you need and tell you that they're going to get back with you. That means it's just somebody that doesn't know exactly they don't know the answer yet. So they're going to come ping us and get the answer. And then we go from there. Julia, if you want to do a lender chat room, then again, that support line, just say, hey, I want to do a lender chat room. I want to create one. Just say what the subject is or whatever you're trying to do there. And then they'll run it up the flagpole to be able to like get that set up. But keep in mind, my target to be able to get I want to start getting our loan officers on here at the beginning of the month, right after month end, right? The first couple of days. So maybe like August 3rd, 4th, 5th, I'll start reaching out to all our LOs trying to get them in here. Who do I contact about? Okay, so Najan is big in here, guys. You guys are going to learn Najan. He kind of runs the team. He runs the support team, like in the Philippines. Some of you know him already, but he's in here. Product flyers. Yeah, we talked about the product flyer stuff. Let me just show you a product flyer real quick. Let me go back over here and back over here. Hey, I need a non-QM HELOC. I got this one a lot lately. So let me just go HELOC. I'm going to add that really quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select. And then, let's see, send. All right, I'm looking for some more questions while. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. Let's see. Here are some lenders that offer now. Oaktree offers an equity advantage HELOC. Remen offers this, and then let's see some equity access. So it looks like it's not. Maybe we don't have anything in there for a non-QM HELOC, but it does have some stuff. It'll pull up. Let's see. I don't think these are actual flyers. What I was trying to do was look at a particular lender. I thought this one had a certain lender that had a HELOC, but it might not be in this environment. So I don't think this nifty product is non-QM, but it's still bringing up BPO views, equity access. So this is Remen's things, but this is not a flyer. I was trying to show you guys a flyer. I don't think one is in there on these particular lenders or whatnot. Full stack, Oaktree. Let's see what they have here. Equity closed advantage. Yeah, this more looks like guidelines. But anyway, Patrick, if you do have like a flyer in there, it will show. Oh, that's why I pulled it up, because Nifty has an option for a bank statement income validation. All right. So yeah, so that's sort of like, see, even in my mind, I'm like, that's not an option. Maybe this is not an option, but it is, right? We just need to look through it or whatnot. So that's the cool thing about this system, right? I guess we just need to trust the system. It will show you exactly what lenders have, what we're looking for. So cool stuff. So anyway, Patrick, I don't have a flyer in here already as a sample, but you put one in, and then when it asks, it'll show that it'll show that flyer as well. It'll be able to read anything, right? So anything you have, load it up and let's label it correctly, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Doop, 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 doop. Yeah, I think that if nobody else, I kind of like scrolled up through the questions and tried to like get as many of them as like possible. Hey, hold on really quick before everybody leaves. I want to I could record and like kind of redo this, but I want to get live. All right, this is cool. All right, we're doing our AE training. This is amazing. So many great questions. All these amazing AEs. Excited to get on the Broker AIQ platform. We have some excellent freaking questions. We're going to do a great job and really bring value to all of our loan officers, realtors, contract processors. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Bye. All right. I got my little social media plug. But for those that did not get a account, go to BrokerAIQ, put in your email address, and look to see if it says it sent you the OTP code. If it says that, then you do have an account. You just need to go in your email and get the code and log in. Now, for those of you that don't get a code on login, this is not registering. This is login, right? You don't register. So try to log in. So if you try to log in and it doesn't recognize your email, please call that 1-800 number. Okay, so that way you can ask them to create an account, because there might be an AE that was like, I don't know, not on our list, or we have the wrong email. I'll put the number here again just so it's at the bottom, so you don't have to scroll through. So I'll just yeah, Jennifer, email me so we can get that taken care of. Yes, Alan. Yes, the flyers will be uploaded to the same place. Just upload them to the folder and label them. You do not need to make multiple folders. Don't make multiple folders. One folder with your lender name. That's it. One folder, the name of your lender, and then drop all the documents in that folder. Okay, and as you're dropping documents, you have to pick the label. So pick the best label. Okay, check it, select, and then upload, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, all right. Let's see. Awesome. This is great. Nice work. Well, thanks, Patrick. Where are the flyers being uploaded? Yep, I answered that one. Awesome. Okay, we will be able to rewatch. Yes. That's. I think I told you guys, just use that same link, and there's a recording there. And yeah. Other than that, I think we're good. I'll just leave this up so you guys can see the phone number for the ones that haven't seen it yet. But that's it. That's it. I appreciate you guys. This was great. So I'll just kind of like sit and wait for a minute. I'll wait for the number to trickle down. There's still like 30 people in the meeting, but so maybe some people are just thinking about things. Sometimes questions take a second to pop in your mind. If you guys have comments, or if there's other things you want to talk about around the program, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to like give me a call, email me. I haven't been as available to you guys. I've been super busy building this crap, crap, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot. You guys can imagine, between the regular stuff for the day and then doing all of this. But my time is a lot more free. It's free now, and I'm completely focused on this. So I will be available to engage you guys. I'm excited to engage you guys, and I'm excited to work together so that way we can kind of get deals done. Yep. Cool. It's cool to see all you guys in there. I really appreciate you guys coming. So I also hope to see some guidelines in there. I'm going to give it an hour, go take a break or something, and then come back, and hopefully there's some guidelines. Somebody put some guidelines in there, please. I kind of think that's going to be. I kind of tell that might be my biggest obstacle, trying to get everybody to put their guidelines in. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But my team is going to be on you guys, like all of my all of you guys are assigned a we have the support team has like 13 people our support team, and all of you are assigned to a particular person, and they're supposed to chase you down if you don't have your guidelines in. So now we'll be chasing you for stuff. But yeah. All right, guys. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Let's do some business. Let's like, all the forget the rates, forget everything else that's negative about the business. Let's have something positive. Let's support one another within this ecosystem and like grow and train and make one another better. And I think that's the real theme here. And the loan officer loved that I'm only at 495, when doing all this. So we got to push some units. All right, guys. Appreciate all of you. I'm gonna go ahead and end it now, and hopefully we'll be in touch soon. Bye.